Aloha. Oh, great. Welcome and good morning to the 2016 AMOS conference, and welcome to Maui. I'm Jeannie Skog, President and CEO of the Maui Economic Development Board, and I speak for Sandy Ryan, Leilani Hearn, and the rest of our team in saying how delighted we are to see all of you here. Looks like you made it through the reception okay last night in one piece. It was just a really great way to start off the week. I think you'll agree with me. So please help me give a hand to Boeing for pulling it together. To start off this morning, I'd like to call on Reverend Alika of the Keavalai Church in McKenna. For those of you coming for the first time, it is customary in Hawaii to open a special occasion such as this with an oli and a pule. So Reverend Alika always does that spiritual lifting for us, and I will assist him.
O honau nei kahala, nei ka lehua, e hie hala lehua, o iana kanoe. O ka uno ia, e ano ine, e ali ane, hoi o kahiki mai. Hiki mai no o ko. A hiki pū no me ke aloha, aloha e, ie, aloha e, ie. The Oli Aloha is simply a chant which offers a word of greeting. It says in part, now that you have come, now that you are here, aloha and welcome. So, Vilina mai kako, aloha. I will correct Jeannie because she's right that it begins with an ole and it ends with a pule or a prayer of blessing. But over the 17 years we've been together, it seems, I usually offer my mana'o or my thoughts, so it's going to be squeezed in between. 4 years ago, the conference summary noted that more than 600 participants attended the 2011 AMOS conference, and of that number, 360 or 60% were returning, 240 or 40% were new to the conference. So whether you are returning or here or new to the conference this year, again, Vilina mai kako, yeah? Welcome. For those of you who are from the US, welcome to Hawaii, the 50th state. To the Canadians for whom we have a fond affection, welcome to Maui, the 11th province of Canada. To all our international visitors, and you can check with Sandy Ryan on the translation, welcome to Kalahui, Hawaii. In 2011, China launched the Tiangong-1 space station. The BBC reported yesterday that Chinese authorities have confirmed that the space station known as Heavenly Palace 1 has essentially completed its 5-year mission to demonstrate its orbital rendezvous and docking capabilities. It will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere sometime in 2017. The 8.5-ton module is expected to fall into the ocean somewhere near Antarctica. At least that's what they say. It's anticipated that much of the space station will disintegrate as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. Now, as someone, I'm confessing to you, who is scientifically challenged, I have come to appreciate the phrase, space situational awareness, of not only the 8.5-ton space station, but for the massive amount of space debris orbiting the Earth. So your work then is both essential and critical. But as we gather here for the 17th AMOS conference, I would invite you to consider the space situational awareness, not only in the heavens, but here on earth. Not only as we look up and outwards, but as we look back down and at ourselves. The situation in our world is fraught with wars and violence. The space between us as peoples and nations has grown, and the debris of war litters the human landscape, including millions of unexploded landmines and bombs and other munitions. As we look back over the last 70 years, over 250 wars have been fought since the end of World War II. Over 23 million people have been killed, tens of millions more have been made homeless, and countless millions injured. According to a recent article in the Maui News the other week, over 28 million children around the world have been driven from their homes by violent conflict, with nearly as many abandoning their homes in search for a better life. Perhaps, or I should say, I know it's unfair for me to apply space situational awareness to matters that are earthbound. But my hope is that the benefits to humankind will continue through all of the research and development work that you are doing. Because we already know satellites provide us with it's back there. Helping smartphones, map driving, helping us to get through if we're driving and relying on maps through this thing. I don't know how to do it. Now, there's data from the satellites that are helping to track such things as crop conditions on rural farms, deforestation, the degradation of the oceans, and even poverty in places around the globe. I understand that researchers and scientists are developing what they call deep learning algorithms that can recognize signs of poverty by sorting 1 million images to identify economic conditions on Earth through satellite images. You all know that the summit of Haleakala is known for having one of the world's best atmospheres for astronomy and related projects. For the ancient Hawaiians, and all of Haleakala is known not simply for its natural assets, but for its spiritual significance. To the ancient Hawaiians, and to Hawaiians today, Haleakala is a sacred mountain, and because it is sacred, the work that is done on the mountain requires great care. So if we are to honor the ancient ones who look to the heavens in awe, as we do today through the lens of a telescope, may we all look back to our home here on terra firma, not through the lens of a telescope, but in seeing each other, may we all walk gently on the earth. We offer a blessing this morning with the lauki in a moment. The tea leaf is a symbol to keep you safe in your coming and going. The pikai from the ocean is to mark the beginning of your time together. And Jeannie and I will do this again. Yeah, you want to put it underneath your desk? It's the water and electronics. But I think we can, the human body can sustain this. We'll aim for this. I'm so nervous this morning. Okay, so the blessing is He po mai ka ine au I kia aha, Amos 2017, Iloko ka inoa o ka uhane o kia kua. So whatever your spiritual or religious traditions may be, and some people say the ocean is theirs, whatever it may be, we offer a blessing for Amos 2017 in the name of the Spirit of God. So it's not that they're chosen, this is for everybody. Oh, come on close. Sorry, I missed the first time. You got to come closer.
The reserve table.
Aloha, 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 aloha. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Reverend, for the cleansing. Appreciate that. No, seriously, thank you very much. He always brings sort of the larger context to what we are about to do this week, and we really, really always appreciate it. This is the 17th year of the AMOS conference, and our goal has been and is to serve as a convener of information, to foster dialogue, and to design a venue that really enables collaboration, which we understand is so increasingly important in this area of space situational awareness. Thanks to all of you, we got off to a very promising start this year. We had a 40% increase in abstracts in response to our call for papers, which yielded 70 poster presentations, which are here this year. We had a 25% increase in registrations. Of the 24 exhibitors, we added 9 new ones. There was a 60% increase in international participants, and these 17 international participants include Australia, Austria, Canada, Chile, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, New Zealand, Poland, Republic of Korea, Singapore, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Thailand, and the United Kingdom. I want to thank all of them for making the journey here, for joining us, and bringing their unique perspective to the dialogue this week. One added, yes, please. One added data point that we are proud of, we also have the highest number of male scientists wearing aloha shirts. Seriously, to us, it's a sign that you're ready to get down to meaningful conversations, because in Hawaii, the aloha shirt and trousers for men is business attire, Hawaiian style. So thank you for engaging in that custom. We would not be here without what is now a global network of supporting individuals, organizations, and countries. And I want to acknowledge a few people here with some special thanks. First of all, the Air Force for their partnership with this conference for so many years. In particular, I want to recognize Colonel Heather Anderson, Chief of the Space Electro-Optics Division of the Air Force Research Laboratory, and Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Emery, Commander of the Air Force Maui Optical and Supercomputing Site, for their leadership and support. Thank you very, very much. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Air Force presence at the Space Surveillance Site on Haleakala. MEDB is very pleased to marry our capabilities with the goals and needs of the Air Force through this conference, and by doing so, providing added value to the entire SSA community that you are a part of. We didn't start out in 1999 to own the AMOS conference, but 17 years later, we are happy to be able to contribute to not only to the Air Force's mission here, but also to the goals of the other partners involved in this whole arena. Then there's our sponsors, all 30 of them. And another milestone, it is the most sponsorships we've ever attracted for the conference. They make it possible for us to look at innovative ways to bring more features to the conference and enrich your experience here. They are at the front of your program, and I encourage you to take the time, also on the banners here, to look at who they are, and if you come across them, please extend your thanks as well to them for helping to make all of this possible. I'd like to thank the Wailea Marriott. This is our 14th year with them here. I'm sure you've all noted the significant changes going on around here and probably heard some of it. Midway through our planning for this year's conference, we learned that there were delays in the construction schedule of the $100 million renovation. So, borrowing some of your terminology, we conducted a lot of situational awareness, conducted risk management, and collision avoidance maneuvers. We maximized the creativity not only of their staff but ours in making sure that the essential level of service that was necessary for a productive conference would be maintained. And I think they've done really a yeoman's job of helping us get there. At the end of the week, I hope you will feel the same as well. Speaking of which, we have one request to you. It's a request that we make every year because it's that important to us. Please give us your feedback. Please take the time to give us that feedback. This makes the conference better. This helps us make the conference work for you. The numerous additions and tweaks that we've made to the conference over the 17 years, whether it's short courses, having papers searchable online, the policy forum, and even the type of refreshments you want, have come because of your feedback. So with the AMOS app, which I hope you've all downloaded, it's much easier. You can do your comments real time for every single session. So please, please share your thoughts with us. We would really appreciate it. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome back a member of the AMOS family, or Ohana as we say in Hawaii. Kirk Lewis is back this year, thankfully, and will be helping us with our very distinguished keynote speakers this morning. Kirk brings a wealth of knowledge and experience from his work at the Institute of Defense Analysis, which is one of 12 federally funded development centers, research development centers. Most significant for his role today, it's important for you to know that he's led more than 60 high-level groups on independent space-related assessments, primarily for the Department of Defense, and mostly addressing space enterprise. Please help me welcome our friend Kirk Lewis.
Well, what a great day to be back here at the AMOS conference. I've been so surprised that over the 15 years that I've been able to be a participant, how your comments that Janie has asked for have really made a difference and will continue to do in the future. And of course, Janie gave you a snapshot of today's composition, but I'd like to take the time to ask those that are here for the first time to raise your hands. And now, why I think that's important is for those of us who have been many times here, we've sort of been able to get our associations and know how to do the collaboration with folks we've seen in the past. But those of you who are coming the first time, bring some new bright ideas, some things to discuss, and even though we have question and answers and we have speakers who are here to stimulate future discussions, please, those that have been here, seek out those new ones first time, and those that are first time, seek out the wisdom and the opportunities to do the further collaboration. As time has proven, collaboration is the key to innovation, and it is new innovation that's the foundation for our long-term space contribution in support of joint operations. As I've gone through and done many of these assessments, I've been surprised at what are the key elements that cause success. And I want to leave with you 4 questions that as you go about your day-to-day activity, you need to continue to review and understand what it is you need to do about implementation of the answers. As is the case, the most important one is what's the big idea that you're trying to foster? Now, for each group, it's different. In the case of space debris, I can tell you that what the FAA thinks about that is differently than what the Air Force does. It's differently than what the contractor does. But the big issue is, what's the big idea? How do you fit into that big idea? And the second one that causes much difficulty, people don't ask, if what I do, will it matter? And we've seen the government, in more than one case, build and spend money on things that in the long run didn't matter. If you have come to the conclusion of what it is the big idea and why it does matter, the next most important part is who cares? And the who cares has to do with who's got the dollars. Because it's the dollars and the support of those who care that will enable you to continue on and do what you want to do and make the contribution that's so necessary. And finally, what is it you can do with that information? So as you go about your work, continually review with that, and don't assume that because you want to do it, it's going to happen. Or that because there's space there, everybody knows why it's important. As time has shown, it took a long time for people to fully appreciate the contribution that space has made to joint operations. And today, that's not a question. But many of the things in the advanced innovation and technologies that you work on are not known to a lot of people, and they truly need to understand why it matters and why they should support you in that effort.